Have you ever felt a weight on your chest because of something that hasn't even happened? How often do you find yourself worrying about situations that only exist in your mind? Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." He's saying that most of the pain we experience isn't from real events. It's from the fear and anxiety we create by imagining what could go wrong. Our minds make us relive scenarios that aren't happening and may never happen, causing unnecessary suffering. Think about it. How many times have you played out a worst-case scenario in your mind? You picture failure, rejection, embarrassment, and feel the emotions of those events as if they're real. All that stress and anxiety. Yet none of it exists outside of your mind. The actual event hasn't even happened, yet you're already suffering in advance. Consider a student preparing for a big exam. They imagine failing, letting down their family, and they feel stress, even physical symptoms like headaches. But the reality? They haven't even taken the test yet. The suffering is mental, not based on what's happening, but on what they think could happen. And often when the test day comes, they perform just fine. Or imagine a person preparing for a presentation at work. Their mind imagines stumbling over words, embarrassing themselves, or looking unprepared. They start questioning their abilities, all before the actual presentation. When the day finally arrives, they deliver it without any issues. All that worry and stress, self-created, unnecessary. Seneca understood that our minds have the power to create either peace or turmoil. And for most of us, our minds lean toward turmoil. We're wired to anticipate danger, a survival mechanism that, in modern life, often creates unnecessary stress. We worry about things that rarely ever happen. Take another example. A person waiting for medical test results. They imagine the worst, a life-changing diagnosis, the loss of normalcy. Their mind spins, feeling every emotion as if it's already true. They suffer for days, even weeks, and then the results come back normal. All that suffering, pure imagination. Or in relationships, someone sends a message and doesn't receive a reply. Their mind spins with negative thoughts. Are they upset? Did I do something wrong? Their heart races. They feel tense, all over something existing only in their mind. Hours later, they receive a simple reply, and all that stress was for nothing. Seneca's message is that much of our suffering is optional. It's self-inflicted, the price we pay for letting our imagination run unchecked. So how do we reduce this unnecessary suffering? One way is through mindfulness. Catch yourself when you start imagining negative outcomes and ask, is this happening right now, or is it just a thought? Grounding yourself in the present can remind you that most of what you fear isn't real. Another Stoic technique is to visualize worst-case scenarios to build resilience, not fear. For example, imagine failing at a task, but then remind yourself it isn't the end of the world. Picture yourself adapting, learning, and moving forward. This shifts the focus from anxiety to resilience. Gratitude is another powerful tool. So much suffering comes from focusing on what could go wrong instead of what's already going right. By practicing gratitude, you train your mind to see the positive rather than obsessing over imagined dangers. So the next time you feel overwhelmed with worry, remember Seneca's words. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Ask yourself, are these fears real, or are they only in my mind? By letting go of imagined suffering, you make space for peace, resilience, and a clearer focus on the present. If this message resonates, take a moment to reflect on one worry you can release today. Drop it in the comments, and let's remind each other that we can choose a life of peace, over unnecessary suffering. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more insights on living with resilience and wisdom.